is.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Offside Rule. I'm joined tonight by the lovely Charles and the lovely Lambs. We're going to be touching on Kante to Tottenham, the Champions League final, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, it's been a while. Well, it's not been a while. I think we did it. Did we do it last week? I don't even remember.
We did, but we were both like hella nervous. So we were like, we were a bit like, we're kind of nervous, but let's just all laugh at Man United, isn't it?
Yeah, so it feels like a long time for some reason. But sorry guys, we're late. I've not actually been in hiding. I've been working. I'm still at work now, as you can see.
It's Big Steve that's been hiding. Jan has chest, yeah. It's Big Steve that's been hiding, yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm always realistic when it comes to Man City. Like, I got a lot of negative comments through the live stream because I said that if Chelsea score first, it'll be 1-0 Chelsea. And all these people would say, you're so negative. You don't, like, support your club. And I was like, I know Man City. Like, I know how it's going. And the way we played, I just knew we weren't going to win. Like, I know Man City. And people were trying to tell me that I don't know my club. And I think I know more than Pep. And I was kind of like, yeah, but everyone could see that was going to happen. So it's just one of them things. Like, it's our first final. At the start of the season, I wanted us to get further than the quarters. So to get to the final was better than I wanted. Obviously, I think we didn't make the most of the opportunity because I don't think we put in a performance that would have let us win, even on a bad day for Chelsea. So, yeah, I wasn't really impressed with Man City. We can start there, actually, because there's two Chelsea and me. So, yeah.
Hold on, 2 seconds. Is that Campeones, Campeones, ole, ole, ole. Campeones, Campeones, ole, ole, ole. Oh, you've got Champions of Europe.
You'll never say that. Sorry.
I mean, we can talk about
fans.
I literally just have been wanting to do this. Obviously, I know a lot of you know that I lost my voice. It's back. You all suck now because you're stuck with this lovely voice. But we are, I'm kind of really, I don't know if I should be, but N'Golo Kante, la 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 la, N'Golo Kante, la 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 la, il est gentil, il est petit, il est stupide, il est Messi, il est de Champs-Élysées, N'Golo Kante, N'Golo Kante, N'Golo Kante, N'Golo Kante, il est petit, il est gentil, il est stupide, il est Messi, il est de Champs-Élysées, il est N'Golo Kante.
Woo! And obviously, big up Jan for taking that. Big up Jan for sitting there taking that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just quite happy. That little things gonna make me happy.
I'm not one of them fans that's like a sore loser. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, if City deserved to win and lost, I'd be a bit gutted. But we didn't deserve to win, so it is what it is.
I just would like to state the fact, though, that Mason Mount is better than Phil Foden. He has a Champions League. Phil Foden doesn't. Unfortunately, I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about titles. Pep overthought it again. Let me think. Who else I can slag off? To be fair,
CDM.
Just to clarify, how does Fabinho not start? Just to clarify something.
Fabinho, not Fabinho. Show wrong team.
That's how shit I think. That is why I get confused, because I feel like Man City were that shit that it might as well have been. It might as well have been, to be honest. Like, the disrespect is here tonight. I am here to disrespect. I have not been able to disrespect. Lambs knows this. I have had no voice. The disrespect hasn't been here. I am here now just to clarify, N'Golo Kante, Ballon d'Or winner, 2021. Thank you very much. That needs to happen. If that doesn't, I don't really understand how. Let's talk about it. Mason Mount, absolute baller. Kai Havertz, anyone want to slag Kai Havertz off? I don't think so. No, thank you very much. Let me talk about it. Rudiger, man like Rudy, like he's a legend. Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva.
Alex from Glastonbury. Woo!
Woo! Let's see what else. My team was. Just to clarify, Jorginho is better than any player that didn't win Champions League this season. Thank you. Anyone that hasn't got Champions, so basically, no, hold on. This is how Jorginho is not my favorite player. We all know this.
This is why I step back from the celebration.
just to clarify, Jorginho has a Champions League, which is going to put up his price, just like it's going to put up his price with Kepa as well. So when we sell them, lambs, they're going to be up in value. See, this is logical. So this is why we need to big them up a little bit, being like they have Champions League, because then we're going to get more money for them. Look, lambs, I'm all about money here. I'm trying to get rid of them. I'm not trying to keep Jorginho. Thank you very much. I think that's a joke. But, you know, let me tell you something. I agree. Ryan, speaking facts, if Kante wins the Euros, he really should win the Ballon d'Or. Facts.
He's won it all. He's won it all.
He's won it all. He's won it all. Tell me a player that's won it all that's in your team. Oh, wait, no one. Kante, World Cup. World Cup. Here we go.
The reason why I rate him more than Lewandowski is because understand that he came from literally, like, he did it with Leicester. He brought them to win a championship, promoted them to the Premier League, you know, helped them onto a Premier League title win, left that season the following year, got another Premier League title win with Chelsea, who finished in 10th the season before that, by the way. So at the end of the day, if this guy does go on to win the Euros, I think personally, he deserves the accolades anyway, personally, just because Lewandowski's injury this season maybe let him down a little bit. You could also argue Kante's injury this season let him down a little bit, but his response to that has been immense. And there is absolutely no denying that as well. It's really
in the last, since 2015, Kante has won two Premier Leagues, a Champions League, a Europa League. Let me just that big Champions League that we just won. Oh, a World Cup, yeah. Let me see what else. He's going to win the Europa League. So in 5 years, he's done all that. I just have a question for anyone questioning me about Lewandowski. What's he won? Thank you. Okay, I'll rest my case. No. Lewandowski isn't a World Cup winner. Let's point blank put that out there. He's not World Cup. He's not. No. Don't put Kante with Lewandowski until Lewandowski's won a World Cup. Until then, pat the fuck down, y'all. No, N'Golo Kante. Il est petit, elle est gentille, elle sort les récits. De Champs-Élysées, N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante.
Fans, yeah, we're literally doing a whole David. We're coming with David's energy this whole goddamn week, literally since Saturday. We are coming with David's energy, literally.
Just to clarify, until England win the Euros, there ain't nothing stopping us. Until there's a new Champions League, this energy is coming round this season. Just to clarify, I am unbearable. Now, all I need to happen is Champions League, done. Now, all that needs to happen is Harry Kane. Now, I'm telling you now, let me tell you, my predictions, and Lambs will there. I don't know if that's Rachel Indiana. That's a problem. You know?
It's either Rachel Prime or Indiana. It's one of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? It's not Prime because Prime's a Chelsea fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Rachel Indiana. Yeah. It's them Man U fans who handed Villarreal their first ever trophy in their history. Congratulations. No. I get that. You call us Charity FC. You were Charity FC. Man United were Charity FC. Yes,
Thank you. Yeah. We are Billy Gilmore and Kante Hives. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something now. Man City was shit. Man, do you know what? All I wanted, and Lambs has been on streams. Actually, Jan's been on streams with me when I said this. That I wanted to be petty AF, and I wanted to make Aguero not get a Champions League at Man City. What happened? I'm petty AF. I'll buy Aguero. I know he's a good player and all, but I'm just talking about the Champions League right now. I'm not talking about
No,
him.
wait, hold on a second. Wait, this is a perfect time, Shaw, because I want to know what Jan thinks here, because I'm just sitting there thinking, you're one goal down, yeah? Why are you not bringing on Aguero and you're bringing Jesus on instead when you need
it?
Yeah.
So, the thing is like I didn't know if you watched the streams that I did prior to the final, but I was saying that Pep had to play a very specific lineup to win, and if he didn't start that lineup, we probably wouldn't win the Champions League, because I know what Chelsea are like. I know what Chelsea are good at. So for me, he had to start a specific team. So the team he needed to start was the back four was fine. So Ederson, Zinchenko, Diaz Stones and Walker, because obviously we need that pace, even though, you know, he's not the best player ever. He's got the pace that Cancelo doesn't really have as much. So yeah, he had to play. In midfield, we needed Fernandinho holding, because any team that have these sort of counter-attack kind of playing, which I know Chelsea didn't need to play in the end, but that sort of team, when you're going up against a Chelsea, you play Fernandinho. That's the player that you play. You don't play both Fernandinho and Rodri. You just play Fernandinho, Gundogan and Bernardo in midfield. And then up front, I would have played De Bruyne as a false nine, which is what we played against Chelsea the first time this season. And then I would have played Foden on one side and Mahrez on the other. And he didn't play that team. And not only did he not play that team, he didn't play a DM, which to me baffles my head. Because if Tuchel decided, okay, let's start with a back four and drop Kante, it's the equivalent of that. Like, it just didn't make any sense. And I just thought,
can I ask a question?
Yeah,
can I ask a question? So obviously, you know, when you won the Premier League, obviously,
yeah.
Pep was crying. Really good, deserves an Oscar for that performance. I mean, it was literally just a performance. I mean, the problem is there's been so many rumors that Pep didn't like get on with Aguero and that, but obviously there was like the crying performance, and I don't think it was real. And it's like the crying performance. Like, did he really want to see Aguero go, or did he actually? Is Pep really one of those people that ruined Aguero's chances of getting Champions League because he's that petty as well? I'm like, also, do you know what? I feel really sorry for Dele Alli. Pep doesn't get to give the medal to his daughter so that Dele Alli can be part of like win something, because that's the closest he's ever gonna get.
Hey, Pep's daughter.
Yeah,
the real Champions League winners. Yeah, Callum's single. You know. Who else is single? I'm not too sure who else is single.
Mason Mount
single.
Just to clarify, Ruben Loftus
attractive girlfriend, or have they broken up?
Slen's a single. Hold on, wingman. Slen's a single.
And on that note, Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Anyway, literally,
Ruben Loftus-Cheek was apparently seen dating on a date with Addison Rae.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, swam. Okay.
See, this is what happens when, this is our Chelsea men doing things. So what I'm gonna here, Pep's daughter, if you're watching, hun. If you're watching, hun, let me tell you something. Date winners. Spurs aren't winners. Arsenal aren't winners. United aren't winners. Basically, the only people that are winners this season are Man City and Chelsea.
Chelsea facts.
Literally, and Chelsea are champions of Europe. So I'd buck up your ideas and leave City and go straight to Chelsea because we're champions of Europe because we beat Man City in the final. I'm telling you now. Yeah, I'm becoming unbearable today. Let me tell you, I told you this would all happen. If we won the Champions League, I was going to become unbearable. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for Jan. Sorry, Jan. You know,
Jan is a trooper. Yeah, you should see the kind of banter Jan takes on
just to
sarcasm.
clarify, it's not even. It's not even aimed at Jan, and Jan knows this. It's aimed at all those United cocky fans that came at us being like, haha, and all those cocky United fans. I see you. And the Arsenal fans.
United, the Arsenal and the Spurs fans. And the Liverpool fans.
Yeah. We see you.
Except for you, Ryan. You're okay. You're right.
I mean, not even him. He's a Liverpool fan. I don't do Liverpool fans at all. Sorry, Han.
Right. Listen, Ryan is the only Liverpool fan I can tolerate. The rest of them.
Oh, shit. If you tolerate him, then that must be saying something, because you don't tolerate.
Right. And you know what?
Just to clarify,
his Salah agenda stinks.
Yeah.
It stinks. But Ryan, apart from that, you're good.
Just to clarify, Banter Prime is back. Banter Prime is back, you know, like.
This is Prime. Yeah, innit? Prime 100. Listen, Prime is watching backstage. He's controlling the shit. Prime is doing madness backstage. It has to be. It literally has to be.
It is.
I can see some of the comments. They're trying to bring back the conversation from last week. No, guys. We are going to talk about football. We're going to talk about current football events.
Thank you.
Past football events and upcoming Euros, of course, as well. So, I mean, Jan, for you, I just really want to know.
On the Prime, please change.
Yeah, I'm not even getting involved.
What do you feel like?
In the comments, like, this is what the show is like. Ridiculous. Chelsea versus Man City, and it's like 7-1.
Let's go, people. I see you in the comments. I
was really just gonna ask Jan what she thought about Sterling starting up front as well. That decision.
I'm sorry, who?
Do you know what?
She knows.
Just to clarify, Sterling is just as bad as Nathan Redmond. He has not been worth the money.
Nah, to be fair, he's won.
Yeah, I just went there.
He's won about 2-3 titles, so he's worth it. The thing is, like, this season, he's. I've said a lot of the time on streams, like, he's been shocking this year. It's kind of a little bit of a lie, because in that 21 game run where we were unbeaten, he was actually really good in that period, and I think he got 9 goals or something in that period. Do you know what I mean? And then he fell off again, but. I knew this would happen. I knew Pep would overthink it at some point, but he hadn't been overthinking it all season. He'd been playing pretty much the same team against Dortmund, against Mönchengladbach, against PSG, everyone, and it was working. And then he gets to the final, changes it. Not only does he change the way we play in terms of the formation to fit Sterling into the team, who isn't in form. I understand maybe why he went with Sterling, and that's simply because Sterling makes intelligent runs behind. He's like Werner. Like, Werner is not clinical, but he causes the opposition a problem. And I think that's what Sterling does. So I get why he went with Sterling, but he ended up changing the whole team dynamics to fit him in, and he shouldn't have done that. So he played Gundogan in a defensive midfielder position. Gundogan has not played in that position all season. I think last year he played in that position. So I don't know why he would do that in a final. We all know Gundogan is not as effective back there. This is why a lot of people were saying last season, Gundogan needs to go, because he's not as effective when he's deeper. He's better playing forward where he can get involved and assist and do what he needs to do. So Pep did that. He got that wrong. Aguero should have got longer. I understand not starting him because the false 9 had worked so well, but the false 9 works well when Foden's on one wing and Mahrez is on the other, not when Foden's playing false 9. So I think Pep just got it all wrong. I don't.
I was smiling about as well.
know.
I'm not gonna lie, Jan, there was an opportunity in that game where Foden was through on goal, and even me as a child, my heart just dropped. I was like, it's a goal, because when Foden gets in that position, it's so very rare that we see him like miss. But I have to big up, what an absolutely fantastic block from, I think it was Rudiger time as well. Because there was 3 distinctive blocks I remember our defense making. One from Christensen, one from Rudiger, one from Azpilicueta against the City attack. Once they got into the box as well. So them like shock moments for us Chelsea fans, like, oh my God, they could score from here. But fantastic defending. They absolutely shut everybody down. And what got to me the most is that man like Kante, little Kante jumping for headers against Diaz and Stones. I was like, wow.
Just while you're on there, here's a stat. Just remember that Kante's like 5'6". Man's a legend. Had the most aerial possession. Man's like 5'6", and your team can't do. Nah. Pipe down. I think that's enough. I'm sorry. Kante had the most aerial possession. What are you saying? Premier League champions, Carabao Cup champions, and my man Kante, 5'6", had the most aerial possession. Come talk to me. No, thank you. Bye. Okay, I'm done now.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know, Jan, listen, I've been on 2 streams earlier today where we were given like our Premier League starting 11 of the season, and I have to say there is at least 4 City players included in that squad, which is deservedly so, because you can't deny. And I think for me, it's Diaz, Cancelo is one of them, Gundogan is one of them, and De Bruyne is one of them, undoubtedly. Sorry, no, not De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne is a bit of hit and miss to debate one because of the injury, but Phil Foden is definitely in there for me as well. So it just goes to show the impact, the effect that the City players have had on the season. There's no denying that. I literally honestly think, like you said, Pep overthought it and he got it wrong. That's all that happened.
And the thing is, like, because I said originally when we were talking about, in earlier stages, and I was saying, like, I think Man City, when they get to their first final, will probably lose just because of the pressure when you first get there. But I just think it's the way we lost that was more annoying. I think if Chelsea beat us and it was a close game and, it was like a sort of when you lost in the FA Cup final and there was like a wonder goal. Like, if it was that, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But it's just like Man City didn't even look like they were really trying. And I think that's what, to me, was more annoying, because it was like we didn't really put up a performance. And it's like people were kind of expecting me to be upset, but I don't get upset at Man City. Like, I might have cried if we'd have won, but I would never cry when we lose, if you know what I mean. Because it's kind of like we didn't deserve to win that game. And I think it's definitely on Pep, because the players... I don't think the players were particularly great, but if you look at the most influential players in our squad, you've got De Bruyne, who ended up going off anyway, so he couldn't really have too much of an impact. I know he wasn't. I think he was the one that got the ball into Foden for that chance, and that was the closest we came. So, it's one of them. He would have got an assist if that went in, that sort of thing. So he wasn't as bad as people are making out, but he couldn't really get into the game too much. Diaz, people are acting like had a disaster class.
It wasn't a disaster class.
Yeah, the goal. You could argue his positioning wasn't great, but in general, Zinchenko lost his man essentially, and that is what caused it. So I would put more blame on Zinchenko than Diaz, even though it wasn't ideal. And I think
why I really wanted to start. This is why, because I knew with Timo there, he was going to take the players away. We are never. It's exactly what happened to what led to that goal.
Because that's the thing with Fernandinho, because it's like when you have a player that is in his sort of position, they don't have that space. Like, you could see somebody was talking about it the other day, and they were saying like Zinchenko was almost looking as if to say, why am I on my own in this situation? Because he wouldn't normally. Fernandinho would be closer. And I know Chelsea had a few chances when Fernandinho came on, but the chances were a lot less. You know, the first half, it was clear that there was no midfield because Zinchenko, Gundogan is not really a DM. Like, he can play there, but he's not a DM. So it's like, it's like when Pogba plays in DM and Man United fans complain that he's not getting chances. Well, he's not.
The same way Liverpool are adapting Fabinho as a centre-back when really he's a natural DM. Do you know what I mean? Just trying to play players out of position because it's just like, listen, you are a more consistent, defensive-minded player. We need you to kind of protect the rest of these people. And I completely understand. I feel like Pep was asking too much of Gundogan in this game, in a final like this, whereas I was literally sitting there thinking, I don't understand why you wouldn't go with your most consistent DM who's actually won you trophies and titles in that position. Absolutely.
Do you know what's even worse? It's the fact that he's the captain. You played your captain. Your captain doesn't start every week, but he started in a final. I remember when Company used to get injured and Company would come back and he would play the final. And even if the whole team was different that got them to the final, you still play your final. So for me, it's on Pep. It's on Pep. But I love Pep. I think he's too much of a genius. You know, people are saying, oh, he's a fraud. I don't think he is. I think he's too much of a genius. He can't do simple things. Like, there was a meme thing and it's a picture of like a car.
Won how many trophies since his coming to City? You can't call this guy fraud. At the end of the day, like, whenever there's always pressure to get something which you've never had, like you've never experienced, there's always going to be pressure. You're always going to think, oh, okay, like, I know I'm in a good position, but I don't want to get this wrong. So a lot of people tend to overthink things. And we've seen that. Like, in any other competition, has Pep ever overthought it? No. His record in finals is literally unrivaled. Literally, it's like, it's better than Jose's. And we know that guy's record in finals as well. It's phenomenal. So at the end of the day, he's not a fraud. It's the pressure of the occasion. It's the fact that he doesn't feel like he has enough players or certain players that he completely trusts to take him over that line as well. And that's why he does. You saw it against Leon. He overthought the formation. You saw it against Chelsea. He overthought the formation. You know what I mean? But there's no denying this guy is still an amazing quality manager. And City, unlike the rest of this supposed big six, I don't think that they're years off winning it. They are one. They are one season off winning it. They've lost it this season. They can come back next season and win it as well. Like, City are that team. Everybody else, United, Arsenal, Spurs, even Liverpool, I'd say they're about 2 to 8 years off. Even competing for this trophy.
I think I said the whole time, like, it's a case of when, not if. And that's why, like,
100%.
It doesn't feel like Man City's only opportunity to win it. It feels like a Chelsea 2008 where you kind of expect that it's going to happen. Honest City fan supports God knows who. I hope it's not United.
City fan is not a City fan. Can I just say, honest City fan is not a City fan, yeah? If you see some of these comments, this person does not support City.
No one that's a City fan would call themselves honest City fan anyway. But in terms of this comment, I feel bad for Jan for calling Fergie overrated in Europe whilst our manager spends billions and can't even win it, right? Correction. I didn't call Fergie overrated. I said he won 2 in 28 years. Pep's won 2 in what? The last 13, 14? So give him another 10 years. And if he still hasn't won another, then I'll hold my hands up and call Pep a fraud. But
there's absolutely no way. There's no way. Like, even as a Chelsea fan, and the thing is, because you know how scared I was when we were doing the preview for this last week. I was nervous. Like, we were the underdogs going into this. Like, we won it, but guys, make no mistake, we were still the underdogs. We are still the underdogs. When next season starts, City is still better than us, hands down, 100 million%. Like, we're not on their level yet. To win a Premier League title, it's not like any of these tournament competitions. You need solid consistency throughout the season. You need to rotate the squad, manage the squad extremely well. This manager has shown he can do that in every single other competition, especially the main important one. It's just with the Champions League, like on the 2 occasions we've won it, people can argue we've not been the best team in the competition. We've actually not really deserved it on both occasions that we've won it. And really and truly, I can't argue with that, because they have a point if we're basing it on that basis. But the experience, the occasion, the man management, the manager in charge as well, all of these things, they all play a factor in what gets you these Champions Leagues as well. So I think this is literally a psychological mentality block Pep and the rest of the City squad need to get over. The fact that we're sitting here praising Diaz for his first ever season. He's a 23-year-old in his first ever season, and he was brought in to replace a big, significant player like Vincent Kompany, which we know that's what City been missing since his departure, and what probably made them miss out on the title last season. The guy has done immensely well, and he's 23. So understand, he hasn't even hit his prime yet. Once he hits his prime, oh my goodness, Virgil van Dijk, be quiet. Thiago Silva, even you need to be quiet, because the guy, he hasn't even hit his stride yet, and he's already a Premier League title winner. He's already working with the likes of Pep. He's already got that mentality instilled. So can you see the only way is up from here?
Yeah, I think, like, obviously Diaz is young. He's come in. He looks like he's settled in well. This is his first season. I think, I say it a lot, second season. This is what I was saying to you guys earlier in the season about Chelsea. Like, Timo Werner, not been great this season, but that doesn't mean that next season he's not going to be good. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I like Havertz. Well, I did like him before Saturday. I like Havertz. I think Havertz is going to be good. He looks good to me. And I think Ziyech is going to be good as well. Ziyech, however you say it. I think he's going to be good too. So
thing with Ziyech, the formation needs to change, because this formation is not bringing out the best of Ziyech. You can clearly see that. And I feel like there's some other players, not just Ziyech, I feel like, who are maybe a little bit overshadowed or undershadowed because of this formation. It's such a defensive type formation that Tuchel's going for. But I feel like come next season, once he gets rid of he gets some of the rotational players that he wants into the squad. I really think we'll probably see, I think we'll still see some games where we do implement this back three, but I think we'll see more of a 4-2-2-2 system, which is a Tuchel favorite, and I really, really, really want to see in this team. I'm so excited to see it. And I feel like in formations like that, we'll probably get to see the best of people like Timo Werner, people like Hakim Ziyech as well.
Yeah, I think, definitely. Like I said last season, at the sort of midway point of the season, I was like, Chelsea should by rights win the league next year, because I don't know if City will retain it. It's quite difficult to retain it. Under Pep, I don't know if we're going to win it,
but I definitely think if there's going to be a title race, it'll be us and City.
Yeah. I think I expect Klopp to come back as well, because obviously a manager as good as Klopp should be challenging, and I know this season he had injury issues, but I think next season he should be challenging. But I think in terms of the Champions League, I wouldn't even say Chelsea didn't deserve it this time. I'd say that you played very well. I thought we were both very good on our sides of the competition. And obviously the final, you more than deserved it. I'd say, though, the thing is, the pressure, I think the pressure got to Man City big time, because you could see, like, John Stones was nervous. And I feel like Chelsea almost played as if to say, this is an opportunity. Let's go out there and take it. And they did. So, it's one of them. But I think the first final is always a lot more pressure than the second.
I'm not going to lie, though, Yan. Honestly, you guys put a natural striker in.
We should be all right,
we lose that game, because some of those blocks that our defenders made is because a lot of these players in that front attacking three, It's not their natural position. They're not really meant to play as a striker. So them trying to play in that position is asking a bit too much. And Tuchel has this defense, so well drilled. He can spot this from a mile away. So City's disadvantage, not having a natural striker, which they kind of had in Aguero on the bench. So if Pep wanted to rattle Tuchel, that would have been the perfect response. Put him on early. When you're 1-0 down with about 60 minutes gone, 30 minutes left to play, you put him on. That's what rattles Chelsea, knowing that you have a natural prolific goal scorer in Sergio Aguero, which is always going to be a threat no matter what.
But that's the thing, because I always said if we went 1-0 down, we wouldn't win. And I knew that Pep wouldn't make changes till late. And I was like, he should have brought Aguero on at halftime. Aguero then... Because the way I see it is if we don't win the Champions League, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. But it's one of them things where at least let Aguero win it or lose it himself. At least let him have a say in whether he wins it. And then if he goes off at full time and he's had 45 minutes, 50 minutes of extra time, if he's had that amount of time and he hasn't won it for Man City, that's on him then. You can say, well, I put you out there for most of the game and you didn't score. That's on you. Whereas I think he didn't get long enough. And I do feel sorry for him, because I think he was so gutted. Like, I think part of it was losing the final. And I think part of it was the realization that he was leaving Man City. And, he loves the club. And I just feel so bad for him. But, I'm going to go to Barcelona next year.
Yeah, he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave knowing that he won it all with them. He won it all, which is no more than he deserved. He 100% deserves to win it all. What he's contributed, like, oh my God, like my great-grandchildren, I don't even have any children, will know about Sergio Aguero. That's how mad his legacy is. Like, there's absolutely no denying what he's done in his service to Manchester City, literally like helping putting them on the map, because before that you guys were in a similar situation to us. We're building our history, and thanks to certain players like people like Frank Lampard, John Terry, Didier Drogba, people like Sergio Aguero for you, Yaya Toure. These men are contributing to a legacy. David Silva as well. These men are contributing to history being made. So, and for somebody like him, after what he's contributed as a striker in the Premier League, I really wanted him to get that Champions League. Yeah, but if it had to be against us, it just couldn't happen. It really just couldn't happen. It couldn't happen. But obviously that leads us so nicely into talking about certain players unfortunately having disappointing ends to this year. Trent Alexander-Arnold, after contributing so much to help Liverpool in the final stage of the Premier League, get them back into the Champions League spaces, looks like we are not going to be seeing him in the Euros. I'm disappointed for the player, for himself, for what he's contributed, for the promise and prospect of his futures. But as a Chelsea fan, I have to say, like, seeing as I'm a little bit bitter still that they finished above us, I'm kind of like, well, but at the same time, I'm almost like, it's gonna suck to lose his contributions and what he can contribute to this England squad as well. And for you, I guess, who comes in, Yan? Because there's an extra space now.
I don't know, because I think a lot of people are saying Southgate like chickened out with the sort of 4 right backs because he didn't want to leave anyone out. And I was actually going to tweet the morning of the announcement. I was going to say, I bet people are going on and on about Trent and he'll get in the squad anyway. And he did. But yeah, obviously he's injured now. I don't know. I don't think he's going to bring Wan-Bissaka in. I can't see him being the one. Unless he is planning to play wing backs and a back three. If he is, then maybe he will, because they'll need a lot of defenders. But I don't know, because obviously Greenwood's injured, so he can't come in. Lingard, I think he's in the squad, but apparently he's not going to make it. So I think take Lingard.
He's back in now. He's back in now.
That's what I mean. It's probably going to be him. But yeah, they've left a few people behind. But yeah, I don't really know. It depends on what formation he wants to play. Because if he does want to play wing backs, I don't know how Kyle Walker would do in that sort of role. So it's going to have to be Reece James as the obviously main one, and then I don't know. Maybe he brings.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit harsh than Ryan's comment here, but I just don't trust Southgate to properly put out the perfect formation, the perfect starting 11, the perfect squad of players to face the opposition players that they have on the day as well. I really just don't trust him, and because of that, if we make it past the group stages, I don't have much faith that we're going to get very far, just because of this guy and the way he's going to set us up. And we're just going to be sitting here as England fans like, why is this man playing and this man's on the bench and you're playing this, that, and the other? So, obviously, yeah, big up Monster as well. Monster, Chelsea fan, my guy. He's got to dig you out, yeah, and he's been digging everyone else out. So it was coming.
Oh, he keeps telling me. It's just like, okay, cool. Let it go.
He's not going to listen. Until there's a new champion of Europe, we are not letting this go.
Oh, God.
This is pure.
I just did. That's what I'm saying. I didn't want because before the game I was like, I'd rather get beat 7-0 by Real Madrid than get beat 1-0 by Chelsea, because it's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's like it's the rivalry. United, but at least it was penalties, so you can say like, But I think I'd be more pissed if it was penalties, because I feel like if we lost the penalty shootout, it's more like one. Do you know what I mean? It's don't know.
I wouldn't have had the chest. I wouldn't have had the chest to watch a penalty shootout against you, man. I would have had to exit the pub. I'd have been like, guys, I'm just gonna wait to hear the cheers or the boos or the cries. That's it. I'm just gonna wait to hear that, and then I'll know. Then I will know, because I don't like the way how nervous we all were. Like, I don't think I could have watched if you guys had equalized and we'd gone to like and we'd gone to extra time and a penalty shootout. There's honestly just absolutely no way. No way. I don't know how I feel about James Ward-Prowse. Probably not. What is he? He's just a free kick merchant, isn't he? He's a free kick merchant. I don't think that's what we need as well. But talking of terrible appointments, what's your views on Spurs picking up picking up our goddamn leftovers again?
I don't know. Like, there's pros and cons, because apparently I heard that Conte wasn't too happy with Inter because something to do with backing, like to do with that. So I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it's to do with backing. He's had issues in the past with not being backed fully. If there's any club that aren't going to back him, it's Tottenham. So I don't know. But then on the plus side for Spurs, obviously he can get probably the most out of what he has. He has proven that he can do that. So I expect him to be an upgrade to maybe Jose, simply because Jose at Spurs wasn't the best. But I don't think he's going to get that. I think
he's been promised the Harry Kane money. Literally, they were like, listen,
I think so, yeah.
If you take the job, we'll give you the 150 million we're going to sell Kane for, because man's not leaving for anything less than that, and then we'll give you another 50 million on top of that budget, so that's 200 million. You've got almost Chelsea's same budget as last season. Do what you can with that and get us back into competing positions. That's not a bad deal. If I was Conte, that's actually not a bad deal being offered. If you have that kind of transfer budget, if you're talking 200 million in the Premier League, after losing your best striker, if you still manage to hang on to players like Harry Kane, Bergwijn, sorry, not Harry Kane. I meant Heung-min Song, Bergwijn, Ndombele. Then there's absolutely no reason why you can't use that money, that budget, to strengthen in the areas where you need to strengthen and compete back again for Champions League next season. Why not?
Yeah, because I've said this for a while. I think Tottenham should sell Kane and buy players in, because we've seen it so many times with Leicester. Like when Leicester won the league and they sold Mahrez, they sold Kante, they sold a lot of their key players. Everyone was saying, oh, they're going to fall down, but it's kind of like they just brought in players who were a little bit cheaper again, and they're still yeah. So I think that's what Spurs need to be doing. Obviously, Conte is a decent manager to get in to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I think with Spurs, I think Leicester winning that FA Cup has had a knock-on effect. I think it's definitely why Harry Kane is so adamant to leave. Because when City win things, people say, oh, they spent money. Of course they won it. They're expected to win it. You know, Chelsea winning the Champions League is kind of like, well,
250 million. Everyone seems to forget that, literally.
Yeah.
We spent 250 million. If we didn't win this Champions League, guys, you know how in the mud we would be right now? We would be in the goddamn mud, because people would never forget that, oh, you spent 250 plus million, you won nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is one of them things though, but it's like, that's what I mean with it. Like, I think Leicester winning that trophy is kind of, it's made probably a lot of these players think, am I going to win a trophy? You've got people like, you know, Vardy. Vardy went to Leicester for 1 million or whatever it was. And it's kind of like, he's ended up with a Premier League title, an FA Cup. Like, some of these Spurs players could end up trophyless at the end of their career if they stay there. That's the reality of it. And I don't know whether they're going to get another opportunity to win the FA Cup, because normally, you know, it's maybe Chelsea had their minds kind of on other things. I don't know. But it's rare that you get them opportunities, because if they get to a final against a Man United, a Man City, a Liverpool next season, it's not guaranteed to be theirs. And I don't know if Spurs would win a final against Chelsea. I don't know if Spurs would win a final against City. Obviously, they didn't this season. I don't know. I don't think they'd win a cup final against Man United. I don't think they would. So it's, where are they going to actually win a trophy? Because I can't see them being the best team over 30 years.
You know, Jan, you make some really, really good points. But at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking, like, if you just waited one more week to sack Mourinho, like,
yeah, they would have had their best chance.
We will never know because of that decision. We will just never know. So it's just going to be that same curse, like you said, hanging over the new managers, because, like you said, Mourinho was sacked before he even got the chance to prove that maybe he could bring a trophy home.
Yeah.
And the pressure on the next manager, is it going to be even worse? Probably yes. Do they want the smoke? We don't know. And some of the names being linked. Maurizio Pochettino, if he comes back, man wants to come back with a vengeance, innit? He wants to come back and be backed. Do you know what I mean? Antonio Conte wants money. He wants to know that he has money to spend. If you don't guarantee him that, he's going to throw all his toys out the pram. We know this already. So already, these are quite volatile choices and managers anyway. So...
yeah, because it's like, if Roma go and win a trophy next season, it's going to prove Jose right, because literally Man United, who weren't great at the time, you know, he would have won stuff everywhere but at Spurs. So it's one of them things. It's like if Pep left and joined some other team and won the Champions League, people would be saying,
it's just a bogey team, innit? Like with Jose, Chelsea was his bogey team. He just couldn't win a Champions League with them. You know what I mean? For some reason, it looks like a City might be Pep's bogey team. I don't even really know. Possibly. you know, and the same reason and the same reasoning here with like with Unai Emery and Arsenal as well. Like they got into Europa League finals, still couldn't win it. Won 3 Europa League finals before becoming their manager. He left them. We saw what he done with Villarreal. So it's just one of those things. Isn't it?
It's weird. It's like I don't know, because like a lot of people have said they don't think that. I've always said for years that I think City will win the Champions League when they least expect it. Kind of like Chelsea have done twice now. It's kind of like you obviously gave yourself a chance, but you wouldn't have at the start of the season. If I said, "Oh, you're going to win the Champions League," it would have been, "No, we're not. It's not going to happen." And I think City will win it when they least expect it. And I think this season, I don't think we as fans expected it, but I think the club thought we're good enough. And I think they are good enough to win it. They just didn't win it, you know. But I think maybe it's going to be a season where we're not great and we sort of scrape top 4 and we, you know, we're not great in the cups and we go out and we just have the Champions League and just end up winning it on the off chance against, you know, a better team at the time. I don't know. It could be like that. So
maybe it is that you guys maybe need to finish like second or third in the Premier League, and then that's what it's going to take, and literally like be knocked out of every other single competition except the Champions League. Like maybe you guys just need the Champions League to know that that's it. This is all or nothing. Let's give it all. Let's give it our all, and that's what's finally gonna propel you on to win. And you know what? You guys could end up winning this Champions League with almost like a rebuilding squad, like similar to us as well. Because if you think about it, Sergio Aguero's gone after this year. David Silva's gone already. We know Yaya Touré's left. Vincent Kompany. A lot of that old generation that gave City its name is out the door or on its way out the door. So it's a lot of a new generation rebuild, to be honest. So it could be that the additional players, this rebuild team of City, could be that surprise team that actually gets you that Champions League, which you guys have craved for so long.
Because that's what I was saying. Because like we've had some excellent teams over the year, like that 17-18 Centurions team. They were brilliant. Like every week, blowing teams away. Really, really, really good. And I don't think City have been that good this season. And it's so weird because on paper, it's one of our best seasons that we've ever had. But I don't think we've been that good because I think
you guys only looked that good because everybody else just didn't turn up. Everybody else did not. They didn't rise to the expectations. They fell below par. If they just risen to the occasion, actually challenged you, it would have been a lot more of a tougher season on City than it needed to be. But it's just like everyone's just like, okay, fair enough.
They started badly. That was one of our poorest seasons. I'd say the only thing that I'd say about Man City this season is we've been kind of more suited for the Champions League than we have before. And that's simply because usually we're very, very, very good going forward, very good in midfield, and defensively, we've never really been great. Like, you know, we've been we had Laporte and like, at one point we had like Laporte and Vincent Kompany, which worked, but then it's like then Kompany retired and he was always injured towards the end anyway, and we just didn't have that solid defense. And I think now our defense is a bit stronger, you know, and I think we kind of look better.
The inclusion of Diaz, you know, the rotation of players like Rodri, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, you know, Zinchenko as well. Like all of these players rotating around that defense as well, or, you know, in between like your Edisons, your Diaz, your Fernandinhos, that solid little spine. That's literally what's helped you guys. That's what's helped you guys. That defense.
It's that run that we went on of like that. You know, because in the Champions League, we have actually been, and this is what I was trying to say to people before.
Really good.
We were really, really good. We didn't get anything wrong. We didn't lose a game we didn't lose a single game, and we only dropped points in one game, which was the last game away, actually in Porto at the stadium that the final was in. That's the only time we didn't win. So it's like every other game we won. I thought City were pretty flawless in the Champions League.
This is why I was scared as well, Dan, because the record, I was just thinking, shit. Like our record started to capitulate from the Porto game as well, from when we conceded that. And what can I just say, if we're going to concede a goal, it might as well be a fire goal like that, because my goodness, that was ridiculous from Porto. The goal as well that we conceded from Atletico, okay, fair enough, but we just scored enough more as well. Even before that as well, I think we conceded one more goal. But apart from that, it was things like this. It was conceding one goal in our last 3 games leading up to the final that made me think, oh my God, maybe we might not do it, because we can't be conceding goals like this. But at the end of the day, we managed to come through. I literally just think the fact that Pep played Rodri twice against Tuchel, and we lost both times, even though he didn't consider the other rotational players that he rotated around the squad. I think it rattled him, thinking, I've played him twice, we've lost twice. Thinking, I can't play him, we're going to lose. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, you made a huge mistake. If you weren't going to play Rodri, if you're rattled about Rodri, why not put the most reliable CDM, which is Fernandinho? There's no denying the accolades he's contributed to this club over the past 8 or 7 years or so. Like, there's absolutely no denying that. So why not play him? This is the final. This is a big game. You need to put your best experienced players into this game. Do you know what I mean? So again, I don't think this is down to the players. This is down to Pep. And like you said, it's not an if, it's a when, because you know City's Champions League title is coming. There's been warning signs for years, and everything that's happened since, everything that's happened last week as well in the final, just shows me that if when you get to the final, the hunger to want to go back there and win it again, it increases a millionfold, and you'll be able to see it, I think, in the mentality of the team this season. You'll be able to see it in the way Pep and City reinvest in the summer as well. I'm afraid because I know both our teams are after similar targets and similar positions. So if you man get the targets that we want, oh my God.
You know what's mad though? Like I was saying, I would love next year's final if Man City do go straight back, because I don't know if we'll go straight back there, because we might do a PSG where we don't make it back straight away. But it's one of them things. If we do get there next season, I hope
PSG, your club is run so well, so well. Literally, the chairman's going to turn around to Pep and say, what do you need to win the Champions League next season? Pep is going to say, I need this player, I need this player, I need rotation in this position, in this position. He's going to be like, here's the budget. Do what you do. Max.
I know. So good, our chairman. I love him. I've watched both the first 2 parts. I've not watched the 3rd part yet. But apparently he's just bigging up Foden. But, it's one of them things. It's like, it's obvious it's going to happen. It's just and that's why I'm not too upset. It's not one of them where I feel, he is going to need a DM. I want.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I want who you want.
Don't say it.
Yeah, that's who I want.
Certain CDM beginning with the letter T.
T.
Or R.
I don't know. Maybe not then.
Okay, because basically, I want Tchouaméni or Declan Rice, to be honest.
I think, I don't think City will get Declan Rice. I don't think we'll get Declan Rice. Do you know what? I don't actually know who I want to replace Fernandinho, because he's going to stay another year. I don't know who. I don't really know.
If you can get like Zakaria or something, I'm just done.
Someone that we have been linked to.
I'm just done. I know you guys have been linked with him. That's why I said, if you guys get him, because I really want him, and I was told it's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. I'm like, why not? We're more designed. Nah, he's
who I would go with, but I don't.
Why? Why is he going?
I don't.
There's a place for him. There's a place for him with us. I don't want Jorginho. I don't want him. So if Zakaria goes to you, man, if Harry Kane goes to you, man, Hey, we might as well just forfeit the league. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'm actually choking to death. One sec.
While we wait for Yan to start breathing normally as well. This comment here, yeah. Pep would love Jorginho. I wanted Jorginho to go to City. When I heard he was coming to us, I was like, oh, I don't know, I really don't know, If we had other players that would suit the system, that would allow him to play, then yes. But we didn't at the time. We haven't since. It doesn't seem like we ever plan to. So Jorginho, for me, I think can happily exit out of the club, and what a great time for him to leave as well. You have a Champions League on your back, you've got a Europa League on your back. Those are some great accolades. At the end of the day, I feel like he's more of a system player. So for him being a system player, I think that works the best, to be honest. And I think this is why he needs to go. I think go back to the Italian league or even the Spanish league. I just want it where it's a little bit slow paced, where he can actually control and dictate the midfield, where he's not really going to get the opportunity or the chances to do that much in the Premier League, because we know what the Premier League is like. We know how fast paced it is. So for me, Jorginho can cut. If City want him, hey, you are welcome to him.
I don't think we're getting that.
Well with your system, yeah. He will. Hey, listen. Vibes SC said Lambs would drive Jorginho. Hey, listen. I will bring him an escort, bro. I will get him a goddamn escort to the airport. Yeah, that's how much I care. That is how much I care.
Do you know what's mad though? Because sometimes you have a player at your club that you don't want, but then at another club they'd just be perfect for them. So it's like Jorginho. We really wanted Jorginho, and I think, in the end, either
you can still have him, yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know. With City, because someone was saying, who is Man City's second choice striker? So they were saying that the second choice would be Andre Silva. But I know what Man City are like. Man City will not.
Andre Silva? You man might as well keep Jesus. What is this?
Well, no, I think that's apparently who we're linked. So we're linked with Harry Kane as number one. Number two, apparently, is Andre.
Listen, if Harry Kane doesn't come to us, he's 1,000,000% going to you guys, because the way man's out here twerking for Kevin De Bruyne, twerking for Kevin De Bruyne, he wants to go to City. So listen, Harry, we tried. I'm still gonna keep on trying. I will tweet you until a decision is made, But please understand what you're doing, Don't go to them, man. Come to us, please. But I know our history with Spurs. We don't do business with them, so
they don't like us either, Spurs. But I think they'll do it because they'll want him to go, because he doesn't want to leave. They'll want him to go to City over a rival. So,
we lost Lukaku already, right? We're not going to get Lukaku. So we either go 120, 130 in for Haaland, which I think is personally mad, or we try and go in for Harry Kane, which we know is actually maybe probably worth that price tag, but also knowing that Tottenham don't do business with us and they'll be willing to do it with any single other team except for us. So,
I don't know. Nippon says, Jan, would you take Hansi Flick at City after he's finished with the Germany job? You know what? He's done what Pep did. So, who knows? He's been a great manager so far. I don't know too much. I don't watch Bayern Munich, you see, so I don't really know too much. See how he does with Germany. But it's the same. It's like, when people say, who would you take after Pep? Originally, I thought we would go for a Poch, but I don't know. It will depend what he wins, because if he doesn't win the French league again, questions have got to be asked about stuff like that. So
I think no matter what, there's no way, even when Pep is ready to leave City don't go for anything less than a trophy winning a known serial trophy winning manager. Because again, similar to Chelsea, the standards the club have now created for themselves. Once you create those standards. The standards can't ever drop from then on. And that's literally what City have done. Like, I think they've even probably surpassed us in that sense. So they can't then downgrade to a crappy manager, you know?
Yeah, I don't think we will. I think, I don't know, like, I'd like to see what Zidane does now, because obviously he's left Madrid again. I don't think he'll go back. So it would be interesting to see where he goes and what he wins when he goes where he goes. So, because it'd be interesting, because if he wins, if he's successful at another club in the Champions League, you know, then it's like City might go for him if Pep leaves, because he's proven in the Champions League more so than anything else. And that might be, you know, Pep doesn't win it at Man City. That might be what Man City are after. So go for a Zidane who's almost like a specialist in the competition. But it will depend what he wins now. You know, he might end up at PSG and he might go there because they want the Champions League. That's what they want. So I think they will throw everything at Zidane to get him there. And I think if he goes and wins the Champions League with PSG and Man City is still struggling, they will go for him, because we're in the same situation as PSG right now. We've both been to one final. We've actually been to two semis. They've been to one, but it's similar. It's, you know, it's similar sort of record. And if he goes and wins the Champions League with PSG, that might be someone Man City go for. So I don't know. We'll have to see. This was all on money vibes. I don't really get it either, to be fair. I
still can't believe it. I still think it's just a joke, to be honest. Honestly, I really do.
Do you know what? I don't agree with this, the bottle jobs. I think what you've got to realise is PSG and Man City are in a similar position where they're under a lot of pressure to win it. And I think usually when you're under a lot of pressure, the pressure gets to you in the games and it trickles down to the players and stuff like that. And Pep has come out actually and said that the club haven't told him he has to win it. The club have said, you know, we want to win everything. We want to be the best team. But they haven't put pressure on Pep to say, you need to win this now. And Man City, like, if you watch our chairman's interview, you can see they're trying to make Man City the biggest club in the world. They don't want us to win the Champions League once and then fall off and not win another trophy for 5 years. They'd rather win 5 Premier Leagues, because 5 Premier Leagues is better than one trophy and then you fall off.
Then one Champions League and then nothing. Yeah.
Chances are, if you win 5 Premier Leagues in a row, the Champions League will come anyway. Whereas if you win the Champions League, fall off for 5 years, them 5 Premier League titles are not coming. You're not going to go from falling off to winning 5. So if you think from a club point of view,
Chelsea is a prime priority. Like, from when we started with the Premier League title, remember how long it took us to win our first Champions League title? We started when it was literally, I think it was 6 years or so.
Yeah, and it takes time. And I think Man City haven't been great in it, to be honest. We definitely have a mentality problem to get over the line.
It's also not an if, it is a matter of when, not if. It's a matter of
I think the way that the club is run, it will happen. But it might not be under Pep, like I say, it might not. It might be under
someone else.
Someone else, yeah, where the pressure's not on them. Because if someone like with Di Matteo, when he came in, the pressure wasn't on him to win it because he'd just come in. And then again, Tuchel, he was under a little bit of pressure, but not as much as he would have been if you finished 5th. Because you finish in the top 4, you know, he could have, if he'd have lost, he could have just said, oh, well, I lost to Pep Guardiola. Everyone does. You know, that's what he could have literally said. And the club would be like, okay, fair enough. You know, let's see how you do next season. So it's one of them. I think the pressure wouldn't be on him as much. So we might get a new manager in. Pep might decide halfway through a season, I want to go. And we might just get someone in temporarily and they come in and win us the Champions League. We don't know, but that could be well how it happens. You know?
Can I just say the managers that have got us the Champions League have come in halfway through the seasons. They weren't even first choices. Maybe that's something that needs to happen. We shall see. But I mean, any final thoughts, Jan?
Yeah, no, that's it. Someone asked about Laporte, Bernardo, Silva, Gabby. I don't buy any of that stuff. I think that some of them are unhappy that they're not getting. People are not happy that they're getting enough game time. But I think if we win that Champions League, these stories don't come out. I don't believe that they're all unhappy.
Facts.
It's very clear at Man City that if you're good enough, you'll start. So I think it's up to them. And like I said with Laporte, because I know Laporte did come out with some comments that kind of said he was a little bit, he's not used to playing, as you know, he's used to play more than he plays now. And it was very much, I think personally, he needs to just calm down a little bit if he is saying that, because we know what centre-back pairings are like. I think it's more about chemistry, because if you look at our defenders, Diaz is probably our best, then Laporte, then Stones. But Diaz and Stones' relationship is better. So when they play together, they look stronger. And Laporte is clearly a better player than Stones. We know that. So I don't know. I honestly think next season, our back two could be Diaz and Laporte. So I think he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. If Stones gets injured, he's straight in. So it's like he needs to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure he will play. And I think if Stones gets injured, which I don't want, obviously, but if he did get injured or something like that, or even got a knock or got rested, and I don't know, it's a Manchester derby and we play Laporte and Diaz and they have a, you know, world-class performance and we win, Pep will probably stick with that. And then they might become our new pairing. And then
he's starting 11 centre-back pairing.
Yeah. So it only takes just an injury or a knock or someone getting rested or a red card or whatever it is, and they could be the next pairing. So I just think Laporte needs to be calm. He's definitely good enough to play every week. I get that. But it's just one of them. I think he just needs to wait it out. And I think he'll get his chance. He will get in there. But yeah, I think we've replaced Company with Diaz, but obviously it is early days. It's his first season. So we'll have to see. He's the only thing that I'd say about Diaz, like Lambs touched on earlier, he's not reached his prime as a centre-back yet, 24 years old. Vincent Kompany joined Man City at 22. He was a midfielder. He became a centre-back at about 23, 24.
Very true.
So, and he got better and better with age. I believe Van Dijk was at Celtic at that age. Then he went to Southampton. And then he joined Liverpool later. So, yeah, I think if Diaz carries on how he's going, you know, he can put his name down in Premier League history easily. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel and follow Lambs on Twitter. Let me take this thing off. Yeah, follow Lambs on Twitter. It's actually Lambs Reacts on Twitter.
Oh my God, it really is as well. It's my 1 week anniversary as well today. Oh my God, I can't believe that.
Yeah, and you can follow me at @ItchyAnCity. And yeah, we'll be here every week on Thursday nights at 10:30. So catch us here. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bring on the Euros! Yay!